You could say came to see a show or came to see a musical. I think that works.
Okay.
If you're happy with it.
Yeah.
If we think of something later on, we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. This one time in Kankakee, Jennifer Hudson came to see our musical.
Welcome to This One Time in Kankakee from the WVLI Podcast Network. I'm Jake Lamore. The voice you just heard is Andrew McBurnie. And if you've been around Bourbonnais for a while, there's a good chance you know him, or at least know of him. He's a local through and through.
So my name is Andrew McBurnie. At the time of this recording, I am 26 years old. I grew up in Bourbonnais. Born, raised Bourbonnais, went to Bradley Bourbonnais High School, went to Olivet, also in Bourbonnais, went there for about 5 years, and then met my wife there, met a lot of my best friends, and then we stayed in town after graduating, and we now live in a big old house in Kankakee, and I love it.
Andrew, who is a full-time videographer, works out of an office in the historic Majestic Building in downtown Kankakee. But for more than a decade, his passion has been the local stage. He's a veteran of the area's two flagship community theater organizations, Kankakee Valley Theater and Acting Out Theater Company.
My first show I ever did when I was 13 was with their youth program. So they've always kind of been home base for me when it comes to theater. I learned a lot from them. And then Acting Out, at the end of KVTA season, Acting Out, they do a show every summer outside. And 10 years ago, I did my first show with them, and I've probably done 5 or 6 since.
In the summer of 2025, Andrew stepped up into a new role. He and his father, Matt McBurnie, were co-directing Acting Out's big summer musical, Godspell. And it was during that production that his local world collided with a global superstar. The story really begins with a long-shot connection.
So, out of respect of them, I won't reveal exactly who, but we had a member on the team, on the directing team for Godspell, who had a personal and professional relationship with Jennifer Hudson.
Now, for anyone who might not know, Jennifer Hudson isn't just a star. She's a phenomenon. Born and raised just up the road in Chicago, she first captured the nation's attention as a powerhouse finalist on American Idol. Her career then exploded in 2006 when she won an Academy Award for her debut film as Effie White in Dreamgirls. By 2022, she had achieved the rarest honors in entertainment, becoming an EGOT winner, which is a winner of an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. She is, simply put, one of the most celebrated performers of her generation. So when Andrew and his dad learned of this connection, they did what anyone would do. They made a joke.
My dad and I, in one of the first rehearsals, kind of made a joke with them. Said, hey, if she ever would like to come see our production of Godspell, you just let us know. And that was it. It was kind of a passing joke, and we left it there. And throughout the rehearsals, some of the cast members knew that they had a relationship with Jennifer Hudson. There were 2 cast members in particular who loved Jennifer Hudson. And they were making jokes about it the whole time. Like, hey, is she going to come see her show? Is she going to come see her show? But it seriously was not something we were taking seriously. We know that'd be a huge ask. And why would, of all the billion things she's doing, why would she come down here to just see a community theater production?
Why indeed? The joke was funny because it felt impossible. Until during the most chaotic week of the entire process, it suddenly wasn't. It was Tech Week, the frantic final days before a show opens, when lights, sound, costumes, and performers all come together for the first time. It's stressful. It's messy. And it's the absolute last time you want a world-famous talent watching your every move.
So we're in the middle of Tech Week. And I want to say it was the Tuesday or Wednesday of Tech Week. It was a day or two before we were going to have our first audience. And the member of our team who knew her, about 2 hours before we started the run, called my dad and said, I have something to tell you. You cannot tell anybody. I'm only going to tell you, and I'm only going to tell Andrew. Jennifer Hudson is going to come to town from Chicago, which is where she lives, and she would like to see our show.
Suddenly, the running gag was a reality.
We had to keep our composure. That was, I think, the hardest part. We had to keep our composure. Because on one hand, we're in director mode. We're trying to put the show on. But an EGOT winner is coming to see it in an hour or two. So that was a very fun stress, but it was stress.
To avoid a frenzy, they told no one. As the actors gathered to start their run-through, Andrew's dad gave them a cryptic instruction.
My dad said, we're going to do Act 1, and when Act 1 is done, you'll have 5 to 10 minutes, go to the bathroom, grab a snack, do what you got to do, and we're going to take a small break before we start Act 2, and I want everybody up on the stage. And that was it. And everybody could tell that there was some level of surprise involved, but nobody knew what that meant.
Because that wasn't normal.
No.
The show began. It was still daylight. The cast was on stage running through the opening numbers. And then Andrew saw them.
We see this group of people walk from the side and kind of set up their chairs further to the back. There's about 4 or 5 of them. And I knew who it was. It was J Hud, and she had a whole posse. And Jennifer had... It wasn't a hat, but she had something on her head. She had sunglasses on. Like, she was in a bit of a disguise. She didn't dress like she was Jennifer Hudson, A-list celebrity. She was very much keeping it on the down low.
But you can't really hide a presence like that. And on stage, under the hot lights, the performers started to notice.
And what was so fun was watching the cast slowly figure out what was going on. Because they have to keep singing and dancing. And in Godspell, unlike many other shows, the full cast is on stage the entire time. They do not go off stage until the end of Act 1 and the end of Act 2. They're on stage the entire time. So there's no time to go freak out for a minute. But one by one, we could tell the cast members were like, that is Jennifer Hudson out there watching us right now. And I could see it on their face. It was very funny and very exciting.
Act 1 finished. The cast, buzzing with nervous energy, rushed backstage. The secret was out. And then it was time for the surprise meeting.
She walked right on up, and we had about 30 minutes with her just kind of talking to her. And that was really, really awesome and special. That was definitely a takeaway of mine. She seemed to be a very down-to-earth, very human, in the greatest way possible. Very, very human. I got to talk with her for a few minutes, and it felt like she looked me in the eye and was listening to me and asking me about my life and what I was doing. It felt very human, which I really appreciated.
The informal meet and greet turned into a Q&A, with Jennifer sharing advice that resonated deeply with the young cast.
She said that oftentimes, professionally, we can be in the mindset of we're just doing this thing right now to get to the next thing, so we can get to the next thing, so we can get to the next thing. And she pointed out how important it is to put everything into where you are now. And so she just talked a lot about like respecting where it is you came from and really appreciating where you are now. That was a big thing that she shared. That really did stick with me.
She talked about preparing for disaster, telling them that in life of performance, things will go wrong. And she casually mentioned texting with Mariah Carey and Ariana Grande. But the most memorable moment came when she was asked to sing.
Oh, and she sang for us. That was really, really neat. She sang Memory, which is a very, very popular theater song. It's from Cats. It's like one of the big show-stopping numbers. And she played that role in the movie Cats that came out, I think, back in 2020 or 2021. She played that role. And she sang it for us. I mean, probably 10 feet away from me. And I was kind of blown away. Because, I mean, there was no microphone. It was just her. And a thing that was so interesting about how she did it was she took her time. She looked us each in the eye. I knew technically what she was doing and that it was effective. But that was kind of a way for a minute, and I was just an audience member, and it was captivating. It was very captivating. And I knew what she was doing, but she still got me.
It's so easy to leave all alone with my memory of my days in the sun. If you touch me, you will understand happiness
If the story had ended there, it would have been more than enough. An incredible memory for everyone involved. But it didn't.
I think what really meant the world was she stayed. She stayed for another 2 hours. She came to town to see the show. That's what brought her to town. She wasn't passing through. She left her house, came and ate at Koi Asian Bistro, came to see our show, stayed through the end of the production and like 30 minutes after, and then went home and went to bed. I mean, that was her evening that she carved out for us, which was so special and meant the world to me, and I think to everybody, acting out included.
After the show, she stayed even longer, taking photos with the entire cast and with every person individually. It was, as Andrew says, a gift. Not just to the cast, but to the entire local arts community.
So not only was it a gift to acting out, but it was a gift to the arts of the area too, of just being like, we're doing some good stuff around here. Like, I remember growing up in this community, and especially in high school, talking about, oh, someday I'm finally going to leave. Someday I'm finally going to leave and I'm going to be in New York or be in Chicago and be elsewhere. And then at that point, I will be making it. But it was a nice reminder of people are making it here. Making it doesn't always require you to be elsewhere. So I think that was just very, very encouraging for a lot of us to hear.
The buzz from Jennifer Hudson's visit spread across social media the next morning, becoming a powerful affirmation for a group of volunteers doing what they love. It was a reminder that art, connection, and even a little bit of magic can happen anywhere. Even on a Tuesday night in a park in Bourbonnais.
Just, yeah, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it, and it was very encouraging for me to continue doing what I'm doing.
And that's the story of the night Jennifer Hudson came to Godspell. Our thanks to Andrew McBurnie for taking us there. It just goes to show, you never know who might show up in the seat next to you. Be sure to support the amazing local talent Andrew talked about at productions of the Kankakee Valley Theater Association and Acting Out Theater Company. Now we want to hear your story. What's a moment that happened right here in Kankakee County that you'll never forget? Send an email to jake@milnermediapartners.com or shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram and finish this sentence for me. This one time in Kankakee. Thanks for listening. I'm Jake Lamore. Listen to all of today's local news in one place.
Checking your WVLI News, I'm Rob West.
The WVLI News Update brings you the day's news in 10 minutes or less. Clear, credible, and on your schedule. Follow now wherever you get your podcasts or at WVLI927.com and click on air. It's all part of the new WVLI Podcast Network. The voices you trust beyond the dial.